Okay, I'm just out on the Sinnis T380, the new Terrain, which is their new A2 compliant adventure bike. I'm out for the day with the guys who, Paul and Holly, who rode to Mongolia and back on the Sinnis Terrain 125. So they brought the 380 demo bike for me down to have a ride, and for me the interest is whether I add a Sinnis Terrain to the fleet of A2 adventure bikes that I've got here for people to ride back to back. So to me it's a new bike on the market. It's well priced at sort of 4.8, which comes with luggage, 2 aluminium panniers, a top box. It's got 34 brake horsepower, so same as a GS 310, but it's almost £1,000 less than the GS, and you get the luggage. So that's the interest. I've done quite a few videos today as we've been out, but I just wanted to do one single video because there doesn't seem to be enough hours in a day at the minute. So just in case I don't get time to edit all the video together, just do one. So I think first and foremost the frustration with the Sinnis is the gearing, and I've read that in the early reports from MCN and Overland magazine. The gearing is very short, so by 30 miles an hour you're in 6th gear and it's revving at about 3,000 RPM. At 40 miles an hour it's at 4,000 RPM, and it just makes it a very busy engine. And I think at the minute that's its biggest failing. The rest of the bike's pretty good actually. Gearbox is good, brakes are decent, suspension's pretty good for this type of bike. Doing some travel riding here, and actually it's much better than I thought. It's got a nice clutch, nice throttle action, it's all well fueled, it's very well balanced and well behaved, very manageable. It's on road tyres, a sort of Chinese semi-adventure tyre, and it seems alright to be honest. And all in all, it's a pretty good bike, slightly ruined by that gearing. But cure that, and I think it'll work really well as an all-rounder. I wouldn't say it's as adventure friendly as something like a Himalayan. It's not a bike that you would push off-road in the same way that you would a Himalayan or a KTM 390 or a CRF 250 obviously. I think it's certainly far more akin to the GS 310, and that's where its value really starts to shine through, I think, you know, for the savings over the GS 310. Apart from it's a lighter bike, the 310 GS, and so unless weight was an issue, well, if weight was an issue you'd probably stick with a 310, but if weight wasn't an issue then the Sinnis is a good alternative. I say weight because I see mixed reports. Some say 200 kilos wet. MCN tested it at 240. I would say the truth sits somewhere between those two figures, about 220 wet. That means a full tank of fuel, and that is a little bit heavy. It also isn't helped by the fact that the side stand is incredibly short, which means it leans over. It leans over a lot, and I think when fully fueled and laden with gear, it'll be an absolute swine to pick up off the stand. And it's a bike that it could topple over itself, I think, if the camber was wrong. So that's it. Sinnis T380 Terrain. Not a bad bike at all. Needs improvement, but probably better than I was expecting it, in fairness. Will I be adding one to the fleet? Not sure, is the honest answer. Because for the time being, I think a 500X Honda second hand is a better bike. And that's probably where I'll sit. Whoops, a daisy.